In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw the interior of a room using two-point perspective. I'm going to begin by drawing the horizon line near the middle of the paper. And then I'm going to place the vanishing points on the very edge of that horizon line. So for two-point perspective, we need 2 vanishing points. With two-point perspective, when you are drawing boxes or buildings, you're facing the outside corner, so the corner that's coming at you like this. With an interior room, you're facing the inside corner of a wall. So we're going to start off by drawing the vertical line that represents the corner of the room. I'm going to make the corner of mine just a little bit to the left of center, and I'm going to make it fairly small. Maybe about this big. So that's going to be the corner of the wall that I'm facing. Now, if we were drawing the outside of the building, we would line these up with the vanishing point and draw the line to the vanishing point. Since we are making the inside of a room, we're still going to line it up with the vanishing point, but this time we're going to draw that line going away from the vanishing point. So we're going to start here, and instead of drawing it to the vanishing point, I'm going to draw it going away from it. And my ruler doesn't reach all the way across the paper, so I'm just going to have to slide it down to extend that line. I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to line that vanishing point up with this end, and I'm going to draw the line going away from the vanishing point. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Line this vanishing point up with the top of that vertical line and draw the line going away from the vanishing point. And then I'm going to repeat that with the bottom as well. So now this is the inside corner of the room. I'm not going to need my horizon line anymore. I'll leave it there just so that I can just remind myself what's at eye level. So anything below that, like let's say I have a table that's below this, that means I'll be able to see the top of the table. But if it's above it, I won't be able to see the top of the surface. So here's what I'm envisioning for this room. I think I want to show like some kitchen cabinets and a stove over here. And then maybe the kitchen counter extending from the wall right here. And maybe like a table and chairs over here with a window or something on the wall. So that's what I'm thinking that I want to show. I want to draw the counter coming out from the wall first, so I can figure out where I want that to go. So I think I'm going to line that up with, let's see, I think I want the cabinet to come to right about here. So if this is where I want it to come out to, I'm going to make the corner here. I need all of my lines that are not vertical to go to one of the vanishing points. So let's make the edge of the counter go to this vanishing point. I'm not sure how big I want to make it yet, so I'm just going to put that line out there. And then I need to make this corner go to the other vanishing point. And as far as the width of this, let's make it, I think that actually looks pretty good. So from this corner, I'm going to make another line to this vanishing point over here. I'm going to figure out where that ends in a minute. Before I do, I'm going to draw how far I want the counter to go down to the floor. So first, let's give the counter a little bit of depth. So there should be a vertical line here and a vertical line here to show the thickness of the countertop. I'm going to line this corner up with that vanishing point to determine where this line goes. And I do the same thing with this one and that vanishing point. Okay, so now I've got the countertop. So I'm going to make the edges of the counter. I think I want it to be looking like the countertop is overhanging a little bit. So I'm going to have the edge of the counter come in a little bit from the corner. So this is going to be a true vertical. And I'm going to have it stop right about here. So in order to find the line for where the counter or the cabinets hit the bottom of the ground that rests on the floor, I'm going to line this up with that vanishing point. So that's where it is on the floor. And then the corner of this side will just go straight down, and we won't actually see where it connects with this because it would be off the paper. So I think that I might have to imagine where they actually meet so that I'm gonna put it looks like they would meet right about here. I'm gonna put my pencil here and line that up with the vanishing point so I can get the bottom of the cabinet. So where the cabinet hit the floor, that's as close to the wall as it could possibly be. And it may end up actually needing to come a little bit out from that just to give the countertop on this side some space from the floor. So I'm actually going to have it come out to about here. So that's where I'm going to get a vertical turn. So this is going to go straight up right here. So this depth right here between here and here, when I turn this corner for the stove, that gives space for the stove to go in between the floor, where the floor meets the wall, and here. So where this intersection is, I'm going to line this up with the other vanishing point and draw a straight line. So the stove area will come out to here. So I'm going to go ahead and erase those lines so I don't get confused. To figure out where the top of this counter, where the stove would go, I can line this corner up with this vanishing point over here and draw the line going away from the vanishing point. And that will give me the front side of that stove. Finding out where this line would go is kind of complicated. So rather than just guessing and eyeballing it, which would probably work, I'm going to find where the back corner of the cabinet would be so I can draw a vertical line to find out where the end will be meeting the wall. So in order to do that, I have to line this corner up with that vanishing point, and I'm going to draw a really light line because all of these are going to get erased later. So I'm drawing a light line there. And then I'm going to line this corner up with that vanishing point. And where they cross back here, that's where the other corner of the cabinet would be. So if I draw a vertical line from here straight up, that's where the back of the cabinet would be, right here. So in order to get the edge, the back edge where it's meeting the wall, I can line this point up with the other vanishing point over here and draw a straight line. Now, this seems very thin, and that's fine. The reason the space is so thin is because it's so close to our eye level, so we can't see that much of the counter. Now I want to try to draw some cabinets along the wall up here. I'm going to have maybe the backsplash that goes here and near where the corner of the cabinets are. So I'm going to draw a vertical line right here. And I want the cabinets to go over and in front of the backsplash. So I think I want some cabinets that come down to right about here, right about near where the eye level would be. So I'm going to use maybe that eye level line for where those bottoms of the cabinets come. So I'm going to have them come out from the wall a little bit. So I'm going to come past the backsplash and draw a vertical line here. And then I'm going to have the cabinet go about this far over. And then have another vertical line and have it meet up at the ceiling. So this will be one set of cabinets. So I'm going to draw a vertical line in the middle. And give it a couple of knobs for maybe little handles for those cabinets. Those knobs should actually fall in line with the vanishing point on this side. So actually, I should have this one up a little bit higher. Then I'm going to have a little area above the stove right here where the cabinets go up a little bit higher, maybe for like a vent over the stove. So I'm going to line this up with the vanishing point over here and draw a line there. So I think that's where I want that to go. Maybe it'll come out in front of this other cabinet a little bit. Then I can erase this line. Okay, I'm going to start erasing some of these converging lines that I don't need over here. All right, I'm going to draw a table over here. So I think I'm going to make like a rectangle table. So I want one side to be somewhere over here. So I'm going to line that up with this vanishing point and make a line right about here. And let's say the front of the table stops right about there. So I need to line this up with that vanishing point over there and make the front of the table. And then to get the other end, I think, let's continue it a little bit further, make it a little bit longer. I think I want that corner to stop here. So this needs to line up with this vanishing point. All of the edges of this table are going to go to one of the two vanishing points. So here's one side, here's another side, and then this last side, let's make it stop right about here. So I'm going to line this up to that vanishing point to get the other side of the table. So we've drawn these two sides to this vanishing point and these two sides to that vanishing point. So I'm going to erase the lines we don't need. And now I can give this table a little bit of depth. So let's draw some vertical lines. And wherever I want this to stop, I'm going to line this up with each vanishing point to get the bottom edge. Now I'm just going to draw some just simple straight up and down legs for the table just to keep everything simple. And then I can reshape them after they're on there if I want to. So let's say I want this table leg to go straight up and down right here. And I'll give it depth in a minute. So if it stops here, let's say I want it to stop here and be this tall. I'm going to line it up with this vanishing point to see where the other leg stops. So it's going to go down and stop right about here. And I'm going to line it up with the other vanishing point to see where the other leg would stop. So if this cabinet wasn't here, this one would go straight down and touch here. I can line this point up with this vanishing point to see where the other leg would stop. So it would stop here, and I'll draw a straight line up and down from that corner, and that gets me that leg. So now I can erase this one because we wouldn't be able to see it. And I can erase these lines that help me find where those legs went. And now that I have a basic structure for where they can go, I could draw these a little more fancy if I wanted to, or I could keep them simple. I'm going to draw a chair right here. It's going to be a little complicated. I'll try to go slowly. First, I'm going to figure out if I want the seat of the chair. So I'm picturing the chair with a seat here and maybe a back like this, and maybe the legs are going like this. So if I know that's kind of how I want it to look, now I have to plan out which lines are going to which vanishing point. So this back of the seat, that should go to this vanishing point. The two sides will go to the other vanishing point. And then this part will go to this vanishing point. And maybe that's going up behind the leg over there. So then, depending on the angle of the back of the chair, I'm just going to draw that like this. I'm going to make it kind of a curved back. And then the top would also sort of go to that vanishing point too. So let's figure out, maybe the top is right about here. So now I've got a lot of lines that are coming through and showing things. So I wouldn't be able to see the leg through the chair. And I wouldn't be able to see this part of the chair through the back. So let me erase that. So now I've got this part that I can still see. I can still see the seat of the chair. And now I'm going to give the seat a little bit of depth. A vertical line here, and then a line going to that vanishing point and to that vanishing point. Now, I'm going to make the legs curved just a little bit too. So if this one's curved like this, then the bottom of this would go towards that vanishing point. This one would go towards this vanishing point. And then we need to figure out where the other legs stop. So I chose to make this one stop here. I'm going to draw a line towards that vanishing point. And then this line is going to follow the same shape as this chair leg back here. And I know that it should stop right here based on this converging line. I can figure out where the other two legs would stop by doing the same thing. I'm going to draw this to this vanishing point and make a little mark. So I think that leg would go behind the table leg. I wouldn't be able to see it. So it would stop kind of right here. And then if I line this one up with that vanishing point over there, line this one up with this one and make a little cross, I can see that's where the other leg would stop. So it would curve and kind of touch that one right there. And then I can erase the lines I don't need anymore. I think I want to draw a large window on the wall right here. So first I'm going to figure out where I want this edge of the window to go. I think I'm just going to make a vertical line about this size right here. To find the top and the bottom of the window, I'm going to line it up with this vanishing point over here. And then I can draw another vertical line wherever I want the window to stop on this side. If I want like a little ruffle or some kind of like decorative thing up here at the top, I can figure out about where it should stop by lining it up with this vanishing point. And then if I want to make it kind of organic, I can draw a loose flowy line at the bottom of it. And then maybe I want like window panes and a windowsill. So I'm going to line this up here with this corner just to see about how the windowsill would come out. And line the other side up with this vanishing point. And you wouldn't be able to see much of this sill because it's so close to your eye level. And then I'm going to draw maybe, let's put a couple of window panes in, one right here and one right here. Line that up with the vanishing point. And then maybe some vertical lines, one here, 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 and here. It's a big window. It looks like I've got a lot of lines in here because I've still got my horizon line, so I'm going to erase that. Now I think I'm going to add a door going into another room on this side right here. So I want to make the top of the door right about here. So that's going to line up with this vanishing point. And then the two sides of the door will be vertical lines. I'm going to show part of the door jamb by lining this vanishing point up with this corner, drawing a little bit of a line, drawing a vertical line here, and then lining this up with this vanishing point on the other side and drawing a straight line. I'm going to go ahead and erase the horizon line that's showing here. I think I'll remember where the eye level is, and I've still got the vanishing points on either end to remind me. I'm going to add a couple of pictures on the wall over here. So I would like for the top of the pictures to come to about here and the bottom to come to about here. And then I'm just going to place them side by side. So I'm going to draw one right here and the other one beside it right here. So now I'm just going to go through and add some little details, and I'll speed the video up while I'm doing that. I'll add some cabinets. Any cabinets or any straight lines that I include in here at all will go to a vanishing point unless they're vertical. So vertical lines will remain vertical. Anything that would be horizontal in the room is going to a vanishing point. You just have to figure out which vanishing point it's going to.